What is up, YouTube? It's John here. The last two videos I went over my thoughts on Norco, and you know, what can you say? It's a painkiller, and that's about it. Today I'm talking about these ones here, these lovely pills with labeled. Well, this one's labeled OP, but okay, this one's labeled OP, and it's an Oxycontin. This is I can't say it's a generic. Yeah, I guess it can. This one here is not made by I can't remember the manufacturer. This one's made by Purdue Pharmacy. I have 80 milligrams twice a day. Now this is just supposed to be the regular Oxy, the ones that are supposed to last 12 hours. And okay, what do I think about Oxy? Okay, first of all, let's see. Let's think about this. What do I think about it? Besides the fact that it's heavily abused, it's probably the most abused of the painkillers after Norco. And the only reason I'm saying Norco is usually the start. You know, the Vicodin and stuff like that. You know, a kid gets hurt at school. You know, he gets a broken arm, or I don't know, he hurts his back, or, you know, a football injury or something like that. Or even in college, you fall down, you slice your foot open because you're drunk, you know. And Norco, well, not Norco, Vicodin is usually what's given. 5 milligrams times 500. And so it's the most commonly used painkiller. Oxy, though, when people are looking for a painkiller high and they've passed the point of just Norco, Oxy is where people are. Its street use is ridiculous. Its street cost is ridiculous. I can't remember if it's how much, like an 80 milligram I think is worth like $50 on the street or some crap like that. Maybe even more. But then you got the little side ones there. You got the Roxys, which are there's no time release. It's all right now. It's right now. The regular Oxycodons have they're supposed to be spread over 12 hours. They kind of help keep it less addictive. You can, people on the street get around with it, crushing it, snorting it, and stuff like that. But apparently, these newer ones, if you snort, they foam up or some crap like that. I don't know. It's a joke. Does it work? Yes, and yeah, it does. It does a pretty good job. But the problem is, it's just like every other painkiller. You get a tolerant to it, and you know we'll even add weed to it. Weed you get tolerant to as well. Not like you do with painkillers, so I'm not going to go there. But you do get tolerant as well. But Oxy, yeah, you get tolerant, and you need, you know, to go up. I'm probably due for the next kick up. And how I can tell is I start using too many Norcos. And right now they have me on the Oxys for the main pain reliever and Norcos for breakthrough pain. And so it's probably time to bump me up. If used right, I don't know. I don't get any sort of high from it. I don't push it. It's a very bad drug. I don't want to take it to begin with, but I'm not going to push it to the point of trying to get a high from it. People really don't think about it. When you get to a point where you're starting to have heavy um, tolerances to narcotics, if you push it to the point of getting a high, you're one or two steps from overdosing. That is the high you get. That is the euphoria you get. You're one or two steps from dying. Is it really worth it? I don't think so. I mean, sure, when I first had the Norco and stuff like that, whew, you know, it was kind of cool with the Soma and stuff, but that went away the first month. And if I sat here and started chasing a high off of that, oh Jesus, I would have to take enough where I'd get hypoxia and just die. My liver would shut down in a day, and it's not going to happen. Now, every once in a while, I'll feel like I'll get us like a weird dizzy kind of. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just like my head gets dizzy real quick, and then it just sits there, and then all of a sudden it's just gone, done. You know, it's like, whoa, that was kind of weird, and that happens. You know, if I don't take a couple, you know, if I had, like, when I go up, the next step of Oxy, I'll slow back up on the Norco again, and then, you know, because I don't like pushing it, and then, you know, when I make the next step again on the Norco, sometimes you get something, and it's usually you have to go up, like for me, like right now I take one Oxy, take about, in the morning I have to take one Oxy and about four Norco, and then a Soma. Well, sometimes, you know, 1 to 1.5 Somas, depending on how bad my back is. And then, if I go up to the next level of Oxys, I'll probably back down to like 1.5 Norcos to start, because I don't like overdoing it. And Oxys, you know, they jump up real fast. They're like, you know, 30, 60, 80, 120s and stuff like that. They just like, whoa, okay, why, I don't know why they just don't go up by 10s. That would be the logical step, and it would help people instead of just boom, boom, boom. You know, all of a sudden you're taking Roxys, chewing them up, taking 500 of Roxys a day. But it sometimes gives you a little spin. I mean, but it's not even, I don't know. It's not like a high. People push it way too much, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I would not push these because, like I said, besides the fact they're highly addictive and everything else, it's dangerous. I've known too many people have died and everything else. Other side effects of oxys, tired. Sometimes if you're, I don't know, for me, if I'm just not in the right, mood or everything else, it will amplify any sort of tiredness I have. If I yawn and then, I have to take my afternoon one and stuff like that, I'll just like go take a nap for a couple hours. Other thing is it slows down your poop track, and if you don't understand that, meaning it slows down your large and small intestines, the way it processes your bowel movements, basically your poop. Healthy people will poop one every 1 to 2 days. Sometimes 2.5 to 3 days, but that's getting a little out there. It should be one or every at least 48 hours. When you take oxy, it could be 48 to 72 to even a little bit longer. and you got to take medications. You know, I like taking over the counter stuff for that to help keep your system in check and everything. You got to drink a lot of fluids and everything else because you don't want a bad day there. You don't want it, because if you're dehydrated and then you're constipated and then you get a brick that you don't, it's painful to trying to say this a nice way, to exit your system. It's too big or whatever, too painful. You don't want all of that at the same time. That's bad. Okay, it's a really bad thing. And there's a couple people I've seen on YouTube, and one of the guys, I don't know the whole story or something like that. Apparently, he had his they had to take his colon out of line for a while. Sometimes, if you've had bad issues with your intestines, or like say if your appendix blew and got a whole bunch of crap over your large intestines, they can reroute stuff for a while and give you a colon bag and stuff instead of, you know, pooping. And you know, until your system is healed, and then they can reattach your intestines and stuff. Well, actually, it's yeah, I won't go into that, but they can, you know, put everything back online. Well, there's been people that have gone and, you know, searching for that oxy high all the time, to the point that they shut down their poop track. They've slowed it up to the point where they weren't pooping for, you know, a week or two at a time. Methamphetamine, that's a side effect that people on meth have, and, you know, they don't eat a lot, so it's not as like problematic. But if you eat normally and have this, then it shows up. And there's a couple people I've seen on YouTube that have had to use colon bags because they overdid it. And I think one of them is permanent, and one of them is, you know, they were gonna try to put it back in line. I didn't see any updated videos, and that's one of the reasons why I want to make this series is there's so many stupid side effects that come to these medications besides weight gain, dehydration, and all this stuff. Half the time they don't tell you. If you take Norco and Oxy and Somol at the same time, you gotta drink. You gotta take medication to help keep you going, okay? Because even if it doesn't kill the pain, it will slow non-vital systems down. Even if you're fine, you're not high, you're not nothing, it will still slow you down, okay? And you gotta take the stuff to keep everything going. Otherwise, you're having a very, very bad day. They don't tell you this when you take it. Unfortunately, I had to find out the very bad way, okay? And yeah, you don't want that happening. It's very bad, very painful. And that's why, again, I'm making these videos, because there's so many side effects that people are not even familiar with, and they, you know, it's something to think about. Don't overdo Oxy. Don't. If you want to get high, smoke weed. You know, don't overdo the Oxy. But I'll leave it for now. If anybody has any more questions on Oxy, let me know, and I'll try to answer them.